Welcome back, my fellow soloists. Today's video is about Monster Hunter World. We are going to talk about the mantles today. Now, if you're not familiar with what the mantles are, the mantle is what you see in the gameplay trailers that allows certain players to sort of float in the air. It's also the same ability that allows some of the players to mount onto the monster. So that means you know, when they jump off or you see them floating and they grab onto the monster while the monster is trying to move to throw them off, this is the ability that allows them to do that. It's their mantle. It's the thing that is on them. So basically I'm going to explain to you what the mantle is and the different types of mantles that are found in Monster Hunter World as of now. Again, it is still in development. We can see more improvements in terms of the effects some of them may have. We may see some changes of the effects some of them may have, or we might even see additional mantles being added to the game, you know, prior to release or even as the game continue on. So as of right now, there is 4 mantles available for the Monster Hunter World, for the Monster Hunter players and avatars. So I'll jump into that right now. So the mantle, what is a mantle in Monster Hunter? The mantle is for the hunters to get a new cloak item that can be worn for a certain period of time. Some of these cloaks can allow hunters to use stealth, give them a chance to sneak up on monsters. Other cloaks can be used to attract monsters to a location. So that is the general idea of a mantle. So the 4 mantles are as follows: Gilly Mantle, Glider Mantle, Rocksteady Mantle, and Challenger Mantle. So the Gilly Mantle, hopefully I'm saying that right, conceals you from enemy view temporarily. The effect expires if you perform an attack or take damage. Now I think this mantle was used in I think the opening trailer, the opening expo gameplay trailer. It is when there was a monster in front and I think he went into the bushes perhaps. I'm not entirely sure and I think I would have to see that again. But again, just understanding that the Gilly Mantle helps you conceal yourself from enemies temporarily is what it does. It can be very effective and helpful considering they're taking out the zones. I made a video on time zones, but it's not necessarily correct, but they take out the zone. So traveling from, you know, let's say zone 3 to zone 4, giving you that advantage, 4-second advantage before the monster would enter that field to either heal or, let's say, you know, create rations or potions or what have you. The Gilly Mantle will allow you to disappear, giving you that same time, allotting that same amount of time for you to do those things. That's just, you know, the first way I could see this Gilly Mantle being used, or why someone would choose this mantle over some of the other mantles available. Number 2, the second mantle is the Glider Mantle. Now I honestly believe this one is the one most people will come to use for the fact that it allows you to increase your jump airtime, which again, that is so cool. It's really cool, especially for, you know, my generation of Monster Hunter players, the ones that played and stopped at try. Not having the ability to jump whenever you want to, or just being able to be airborne really for any reason, increasing your jump airtime is a huge improvement. It's a huge character, it's a huge game, what's the word I'm looking for? Game option? Let's just go with that. Game option to allow you to stay airborne, and it also grants you the power to ride strong winds. Now I'm not exactly sure how that would come into play. I do remember there was certain maps, for instance, that had a lot of wind, a lot of sand. Maybe in those stages or those zones you'll find that you can use wind a lot more, and you can sort of glide, you know, for pretty much that entire zone. That'd be pretty cool. Obviously, you know, let's say even 5-10 seconds would be like amazing. So I'm just really looking forward to that. Also makes it easier to mount monsters. So right, so it makes it easier. So it's not to say that that's the only way you can do it, but it makes it easier, and understandably so. If you're gliding in the air for a longer time, or even if you're in the air for a longer time, it allows you to be more accurate with your mounting abilities or your mounting, you know, try. Let's go. Number 3, thirdly, we have Rocksteady Mantle. So the Rocksteady Mantle, as it says Hear eliminates damage reaction, prevents wind effects, protects your hearing, and grants tremor resistance. You also receive less damage from attacks. So just off the bat, I can already see a lot of the tankers of the game, those using the lances and switch axe or anything like that, where you're on the front lines, giving the most damage, head to head with the monster. This will probably be the one that you are going to look at the most, or the mantle that you would want to use the most, just for the fact that you have the damage reaction, which will definitely come in handy. Prevents wind effects. I'm not entirely sure what this could be. If I had to guess, perhaps some monsters have a wind ability that would brush you off and make you fly back, and this would prevent you from doing that, allowing you to stay close to the monster through these attacks, rendering those attacks useless, allowing you to continue with follow-ups and combo sequences that you have for your character and your weapon class. Protects your hearing. This is one of those trademarks of the game. If you're new to Monster Hunter, every monster intros many times a battle with a scream, with a shout of some sort, and you would have to cover your ears, leaving you in a suspended animation. One, to prepare you for the battle ahead, to let you know, even if you didn't know where the monster was, you knew he was close enough because you were affected by that, and it also prepared you for battle. I believe there was potions before that allowed you to, not be affected by the hearing. I highly doubt they would remove that entirely, but again, you do have that ability or this effect with the Rocksteady Mantle. So again, all of these things work well for anyone that's a tanker or sort of wanting to be on the front lines. And grants tremor resistance. I think that's pretty self-explanatory as well. And you also receive less damage from attacks, like I said. So again, that's also very self-explanatory. And so the final mantle is the Challenger Mantle. It prompts monsters to target you more often and makes them easier to lure. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Sorry about that. And the effect expires if you are attacked. Okay, that is pretty interesting. Who would want to use that? That's the first question that is coming to my mind. And again, I would have to say the tankers, the people that can take the most damage, or the people that are most nimble. That would probably work the best. We do know that there was traps in the game, pitfalls and things like this, so this would work well for anyone who comes into the match with those sort of gears or equipment. I use the light bowgun, for instance, and I'm going to use the light bowgun in Monster Hunter World, and again, that allows me to heal my teammates, fire from afar, and do all the little things, or all the things like this to help the situation, help the team overall. Coming in with pitfalls and traps like this, and having, let's say, the Challenger Mantle to lure the enemy towards me, would work well in a team environment. If, let's say, your teammates are injured or they're about to die and the monster's chasing them, you can activate your effect, allowing the monster to come towards you, fall into the pitfall, allowing your teammates to heal, give extra damage, and just pull off the full combos, allowing for the overall success of your team to be much higher and much better, allowing for the players to get the items that they specifically need. Because again, if you want that monster head, you want those horns, you gotta hit the head. If you want that monster tail, you gotta hit the tail. So again, these are all the things that someone who uses the Challenger Mantle might want to incorporate, or even think about for that matter. So that's pretty much it. Those are the 4 mantles in Monster Hunter World as of right now. That is the Gilly Mantle, which conceals you from your enemy temporarily. The Glider Mantle, which allows you to jump higher in the air and helps you with mounting on monsters. You have the Rocksteady Mantle, which basically reduces your damage and stops wind, protects you from wind effects and hearing. And then you have the Challenger Mantle, which prompts monsters, makes monsters want to chase you, and it says the effect expires if you are attacked. So those are the 4 as it is right now. Again, I have stated in the beginning that these are the 4 as it stands currently. They may make changes to the effects, they may add newer mantles before the game is released, or even add DLC or other content like that as the game has already been released. So those are some things you want to think about. I personally would have to go with the glider mantle. I have to fall in the stereotype of most monster hunters, I believe, just for the fact that it's cool to fly in the air, and I will be using the insect glaive as my primary weapon, and that already allows you to stay airborne for much of a battle if you are nice enough at it. So, you know, being able to jump in the air, attack, and then using my mantle to stay airborne and then attack again, I don't know if it works like that, but in my mind, that's exactly how it's working. So I would have to definitely go with that as my first option. You guys let me know what you think. Would you want to do the same, stay airborne, or you're a tanker and you just want to, you know, be able to soak up all that damage and just really give it to the monster, really, you know, prove to the team that you're the anchor, you're the one that you know, the whole team is going to surround around and you're going to take the lead, and you're going to have the Rocksteady mantle that helps you out, or whichever one, the Challenger or the Gilly. So just let me know what you guys think. Which Gilly mantle would you, which mantle would you guys use in this game? Anyways, that is all. I will see you guys in a later video. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Bear, are you excited? She's excited too. So anyway, that's it for this video. I will see you guys later.